Absolutely take that. And there was a low, I think I just saw on there, 60s.
Yeah,
and I
low
heard you say
60s
it too.
into Florida, even 60s along the Grand Strand. Something to look forward to. I've already started to see the fall decorations coming out. It's going to feel a little bit like fall.
Not just fall. Target also had their Halloween decorations out
Costco
today.
has Christmas.
Oh, I've seen that too.
Man.
Holiday excited.
Yeah, there you go.
Holiday excitement. You know what else is exciting? In just 3 days, the Democratic presidential primary race makes its way to Horry County for the stump. It's one of South Carolina's longest Democratic campaign traditions, dating back, get this, to 1876. WNBF News reporter Ian Klein is in Gallivan's Ferry, where the event will be held Monday. And to take a closer look at those inspections, you can head on over to WNBFnews.com. Click on the menu bar at the top left and select Restaurant Scorecard. In our health headlines tonight, federal health officials have revised the number of cases of vaping-related illnesses. The CDC says there are 380 confirmed and probable cases of severe lung illnesses linked to e-cigarettes. This is in 36 states and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The number is lower than what the CDC previously reported because it no longer includes possible cases that were still under investigation. The CDC says it will no longer release data on cases that are less certain. 6 deaths have been reported, including some who had pre-existing lung problems or other health issues. In the Grand Strand, DHEC officials say there has been 1 confirmed case of severe pulmonary disease associated with e-cigarette products reported so far. Hurricane Dorian came through our area very recently, but recovery is still very much ongoing after Hurricane Florence from last year. WNBF News reporter Patrick Lloyd joining us live in the studio now to tell us about how the city of Conway is moving forward from the storm in a way that'll be pretty exciting for the kids. Patrick.
Definitely exciting.
We're learning more details tonight on day 4 of testimony in Sidney Moore's retrial. Moore is accused of kidnapping Heather Elvis in 2013. Today, the prosecutor focused on headlights and placing Moore at the scene where Elvis was last seen. In our next half hour, WNBF News reporter Kate Merriman will have more on today's testimony from the courtroom. The son of the man accused of killing 2 Florence law enforcement officers and injuring 5 others is facing additional criminal sexual charges tonight. Online records show Seth Hopkins has been served with 8 more charges. They were served August 23rd and include 5 counts of criminal sexual conduct with a minor under 11 years of age, 2 counts of 3rd-degree criminal sexual conduct, and 1 count of voyeurism. Hopkins was previously charged with 2 counts of criminal sexual conduct with a minor. Authorities went to Florence's Vintage Place neighborhood on October 3rd of last year to serve a search warrant on Seth Hopkins. His father, Fred Hopkins, is accused of opening fire on officers, killing police officer Terrence Caraway and Sheriff's Office investigator Farrah Turner. New at 7, a man has been arrested after a shooting that happened last weekend. Florence police say Franklin Staley turned himself into police yesterday. Police say they responded to a home along the 2200 block of Steeple View Drive for a harassment call. While on the way, they were called to a shooting along Clausen Road. Police say they found out Staley followed someone from his ex-wife's house and shot at that person's car when they got out of the neighborhood. Police say the person in the car fired back and Staley left that area. He's now charged with attempted murder, having a gun during a violent crime, and having a gun as a convicted felon. And this man here on your screen is facing sexual assault and kidnapping charges after police say he held a victim against her will and assaulted her. Arrest warrants from the Myrtle Beach Police Department show the victim in question reported the assault to staff at Grand Strand Medical Center earlier this week. Warrants state the victim says she was sexually assaulted in a wooded area near Mr. Joe White Avenue in Myrtle Beach. The report states the victim told officers she was choked, held against her will, and forced to have sex with the suspect. That victim has identified the suspect as the man here, Kiwa Jonathan Davis. A father of 2 students at a Grand Strand High School is out of jail tonight after police say he was arrested for exposing himself to a staff member at a school. George Farrell was arrested and charged earlier this week. Police reports show a staff member at St. James High School in Murrells Inlet reached out to Farrell to talk about issues regarding his son. The staff member told officers during the phone call Farrell made vulgar statements toward her. The police report states there was another instance when Farrell went to the school. The staff member said Farrell made more vulgar statements and then closed the door, unzipped his pants, and exposed himself to her. Also in that report, the staff member says she told officers that Farrell grabbed her bottom as well. We'll keep you updated on this story. In Myrtle Beach, 1 person is facing charges tonight after police say they left a 1-year-old child in a car by themselves. Julian Crawford is now charged with unlawful neglect of a child. A police report shows officers with the Myrtle Beach Police Department responded to a call about a child left unattended in a car yesterday. The report states officers located that car and saw the child inside it alone. Officers quickly found Crawford and determined he had left the car. He left the child in the car alone for about 20 minutes. We continue our coverage tonight on the disappearance of a Sumter 5-year-old after her mother was found murdered in August. We're learning more about why investigators believe 5-year-old Nevaeh Adams is dead. She's been missing now for more than 6 weeks. After her mother's body was found, a massive search began for the child, and a warning: some of the details you are about to hear may be difficult. Warrants released by the Sumter Police Department say Dante Johnson confessed to killing Cherie Bradley and her daughter with a large folding knife. Bradley's body was found wrapped in a rug August 5th in her home at the Lantana Apartments in Sumter. Police say Johnson was seen leaving the complex shortly after and was found in a nearby home. Johnson allegedly admitted to putting Nevaeh's body in a dumpster, but her body has not been found. Warrants show blood collected from the scene was later determined to belong to both Bradley and her daughter Nevaeh. Johnson is also accused of stealing a car belonging to Elias Stanley from St. Louis, Missouri. Investigators say Johnson shot and killed Stanley in June, then drove to Sumter and tried to sell the car. It was found the day after Johnson's arrest for Cherie Bradley's murder, and he's currently facing possession of a stolen vehicle and 2 counts of murder. Johnson remains in jail. He's scheduled to have a preliminary hearing next week.
7.
Thanks for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Meredith Helline. My co-anchor Eric Weisfeld has the night off. Right now we're watching the Bahamas once again. It's only been a little over a week now since Hurricane Dorian caused massive devastation there, and of course came our way a week ago today now. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold has more tonight on what he's calling a complicated system. Jamie.
Yeah, it's pretty complicated.
We're continuing coverage tonight on the retrial of the man at the center of Heather Elvis's disappearance back in 2013. As of today, day 3 of the retrial, it wrapped up. Prosecutors focused on phone records and even a pregnancy test box found during the course of the investigation, plus testimony from an Horry County police officer who says who Elvis talked with before her disappearance. We have all that coming up in our next half hour. Right now, a well-known leader in Charlotte, North Carolina is heading back to Mecklenburg County tonight. He's been arrested in the Grand Strand on sexual assault charges involving children. Authorities say the victims have been trying to report the abuse for more than 2 decades and finally got their allegations to the right people. Take a look at your screen. Henry Thomas Black is the chair of the Citizens Review Board, and he has been suspended. And an update now on a story we first told you about yesterday. Authorities in Lumberton have charged 2 suspects with murder after a person was found dead yesterday in a home. Lumberton police say they arrested 33-year-old Kyle Todd Townsend and 28-year-old Tyler Strickland in connection to that murder. International headlines: lawmakers are taking a step toward impeachment proceedings against President Trump. The House Judiciary Committee voted today on the ground rules for an investigation, including potential hearings. New details tonight in day 4 of testimony for the retrial of Sydney Moore. Moore is charged with the kidnapping and conspiracy to kidnap Heather Elvis. WMBF News reporter Kate Merriman is live outside the courthouse now. And Kate, jurors heard testimony surrounding surveillance and the importance of Moore's black F-150. Tell us about it.